Moment, for example, simple example. Moment both the parents go to work, the stability in the house is lost. You know? And you have to even attend to a simple 1/10 sadhu who has a need. Maybe his toilet is not up on time or his pipe is leaking. You know? Right up to that point, he needs a valve change in his pipe. They'll go to him and he'll get it organized.
Amazing, no?
I've seen it in my own too. He gets it organized. You need a pipe, you'll call the plumber, say, come, take this plug, go and fix this pipe. So, very, very difficult to understand it by just going around and looking at it, taking some film and saying, oh, this is Kumbh Mela. This is not Kumbh Mela. You know, Kumbh Mela is beyond all that. You have to be in the shoes of those organizers, find out what they are going through, and then come and see again, you will have a different picture. So this is what's going on here. Can you imagine the logistical nightmare of organizing food daily, make sure there is enough supply, vegetables and milk? You can imagine the consumption rate of food and milk in this camp, in this Kumbh Mela.
So who would be able to give, some information on all this?
Best person would be
Your guru.
Yes.
It just sounds like cook.
No.
No, I mean, I had
The
gone.
whole organization.
I had gone when I had first come. We had gone to the main center.
The Mela Adhikari. You can also talk to the Mela Adhikari, but from the Akada standpoint, best person is waiting. But provided he has time, he's got no time, daily, he's all hung up. Maybe when now he's settling down, less activity going on, before the next snan, he'll be a little bit free.
I would really be eternally grateful.
But you have to make it worth his while. In other words, whatever he says, he explains, has to be written in that fact. You know? No mincing words, because most reporters come, they hear something and they go and write something else. Very, very unfair. Very, very unfair. And most journalists are dishonest. They write their viewpoint, not what is the truth. That's why he avoids talking to reporters or journalists unless he wants to just issue one statement. And he makes sure he brings 4 or 5 journalists there, he issues one statement, and then he goes away.
And Harigiri generally never appears in photos or press statements.
Yeah, he doesn't like publicity.
One of those.
Doesn't like publicity.
Behind the scene.
Yeah. Doesn't like
Mahatmas.
I mean...
Everybody, he's the head of the organization. Of all the Akada, the entire Akada Parivar. So you see this Sahitsnan, the march past, that goes on for the Peshwai, the Sahitsnan. Where's Harigiriji? He's somewhere in a motorbike making sure everything is getting organized.
He's not on
This is Maharaj.
elephant. He's not even on a truck
Now,
with a big umbrella.
he's sitting on a motorbike, one young fellow is riding him along, some unknown sadhu is, if nobody knows him, they say, who's this guy, coming and shouting at everybody, making things organized. He's the president of the Akara Parishad. So like this, his character, but very powerful character, speaks with a powerful voice and sound.
How did he become your guru?
I think testing, because
How many years ago?
2004.
Pretty recent, 6 years.
Yeah. Came for the Kumbh Mela in
Ujjain.
Ujjain. Met him in Ujjain.
Is that when
Not
you
being
took
much
sannyas?
of a guru in a sense that constantly guiding and all that, but he's one of those types who gives you an opportunity to do your sadhana. He says, go, stay in the ashram, everything is provided, go and do your sadhana. Because he believes in seva to Guru, nothing else. He says, you serve your Guru sincerely, anything that happens to you will happen. It will happen with divine grace. That's all. That is his philosophy. Very simple. No need to read books, do pujas, 108 mantras. Do a bit of your sadhana. One mantra sadhana you have to do as a sannyasi. Huh? Other than that, stay in the ashram, serve your guru by looking after the ashram. If you can feed some other sadhus, do it. Otherwise, just eat quietly. Don't be of any trouble to anybody. And be of service to your guru. Bas, finish story. Very simple. It's not going to make you some world famous philosopher. And that's exactly what you don't need. What you need is to recoil into simplicity. Become a nothing. So why do you need all this hula bala when you want to become a nothing? And that's what you are actually. Ultimately, when you recoil from the physical body and the emotional body into this little light, you are actually existing in nothingness. That's all. So why all this hula? And the truth is, you're supposed to be in nothingness. So the hardest thing to do actually is to recoil.
Absolutely.
Yet it is simple. Truth is very simple. Let's make it simple.
It is simple.
Yeah. Easier way to do it is, that's why the ancient philosophers followed this neti path, not this, not this, not this. Recoiling is recoiling back to where you once belong, recoiling to your original state, which is nothingness. So I think sadhana should work towards that end. Help you clear some kinks in your mind, some old habits that you can't clear it, then after that recoiling. Total silence. Peace. Peace and silence, they exist together. Now, when you have peace and silence, you have joy. It comes automatically. Everything happens by itself. You just have to make the effort to get there. False place. You came here, that it was your effort. The rest of it happened by itself. Yes? Did you have to organize your food and cut the vegetables? No, it happened by itself. Like that. Then, beyond that, it's up to you. You might want to help out, maybe cut some vegetables. That is your choice. Out of compassion you do it. Like Buddha, they asked him, hey Buddha, you said everything is nothing. Everything is empty. Who are you writing this book for? Why do you need to write a book? Everything is empty. Why you start a sangha? Why you went around preaching in Sarnath or wherever? For what? Who are you preaching to? Everything is nothing. He says, I'm doing it out of compassion for the suffering. So it's compassion. It's compassion. Even God, they say, why does God have to do anything? He says everything is Maya, no? Why is he participating? Compassion. There is this thing in us known as compassion. When you see a dog, hungry, the dog is hungry. Out of compassion you feed that, but you don't have to. What makes you feed that dog or that child that's hungry? Compassion. The natural process. So when you can express that, then you become what you are.
So has it been only 6 years since you took sannyas, or you?
I was in a path for a while. Not as sannyasi, but I was in a sadhana. Yogic path. Very simple, just sitting silent, meditation, chanting some mantras. Nothing
Fancy.
complicated. Simple. Guruji met me, says, time for you to wear the cloth. I said, what do you mean? I did not come. He said, no, mind, wear it first. The rest will come by itself. I said, okay. I wore the cloth, the rest happened by itself, through Bas. So you don't even think about it. Only when people like you ask me what is it, I talk about it. Otherwise, I don't even think about it. What can you do about the past?
Exactly.
Just be in the present and, hey, make a few people happy. Generate some joy. Enough, very simple. Why make it complicated?
Making it complicated, it makes you seem greater, right?
Then you see, you give room for your ego to grow. I think keep Kepler at a point. Some ego is required for existence. You cannot completely be out. If you're completely out of ego, you sit in one quiet corner and not move. Because to eat, you need ego. To have a bath, you need a bit of ego to do that. But this is sattvic ego. You need a bit of intellect, sattvic intellect. The rest negates. So then your life becomes just a simple piece of it until it drops. Then the book is closed. Hello. Merge with the universe, you know. So that's why when you ask that saint, what happens to the body at death? Body merges with all the elements, not just 5. 5 gross elements and 3 subtle elements disappears. The individuality still exists, it is not realized, and it projects itself into another body. The Upanishads describe it very, very clearly. It's like a caterpillar. As he's eating this leaf, he's finished with this. Before he leaves that leaf, he grabs onto another leaf. And then slowly, slowly he crawls himself away from this leaf and goes into that leaf. That's exactly how the soul transmigrates to another body. This process takes about 8 to 16 hours of earthly time. Of heavenly time. And in earthly time, it takes about 16 days for this whole process. Don't forget, we follow a different time dimension compared to what's happening outside. According to the Upanishads or the scriptures, the Pitrulok, in Pitrulok, one year in Pitrulok is equivalent to 1 earthly year.
No, wait. 1 year in Pitralok is equivalent to...
No, one day in Pitralok
Okay.
is 1 year, earthly year. So what happens to the soul when it leaves the body? The astral body follows the soul. He's the one that projects another birth. Because it's the astral body that contains all your desires and unfinished vasanas. So he's the one that projects. The soul is the soul, he remains the consciousness. He's got no business in this issue. He's just a victim of circumstances. You know? Innocent as he is. You know? So that's why they say, go back to innocence. Stay close to your soul. Be simple. Why complicate yourself? Not required. It's like having a bad stomach. Junakada, the tutelized deity is Dattatreya. Dattatreya is a combination of Shiva, Vishnu and Brahma.
He's the Mahaguru.
It's the Adi Guru. And because we come from that lineage, we don't choose ourselves as Saivite or Vaishnavite. However, from the general sense, we would be categorized as Saivites by the Vaishnavites.
Okay.
Yeah, because we worship Shiva. You know? But we also worship Vishnu. See? But because we predominantly have a tripundra and the way we dress, we would be categorized as Saivites. But I think the time has come for us to lay down those differences and move on as a single body. And the attempt is being made to achieve that state. Even right now as we speak, the Vaishnavites, the Saivites, they are all going to come together and form a Mahasangha. Because it's important that we do that. For the survival of the tradition and self-funding, creating employment, training and creating employment as well for rural women, particularly single mothers. We wanted to make them financially independent and to be able to work from home so they can also look after their kids and become financially. This was the objective of this particular project. So it's in its teething state now. It's a lot of financial funding issue. How are we releasing the funds? Where are we utilizing the funds? And because it is run as a business unit, because it has to generate certain income to support the project. In 1 year it becomes self-supporting. So the trust just invests in this, and then the income derived from it is plowed back into the project. This is how we make the mechanism. A very close, trusted friend of mine is an accountant by profession. He's heading the team. So he calls me from time to time just to check whether they're making the right
Mm.
moves. So that was the conversation all about. Yeah. It's
Where is
ideal.
this?
In Coimbatore we started.
Okay.
We wanted to do it in the south to try it out. Coimbatore, Bangalore, Kerala, that area.